I failed the interview. Then I got rejected. It's so sad. So, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is KK. In this video, I want to share about what should you prepare for overseas study, and I will break this video into 3 parts. Number 1 is the general requirements for the application, and number 2 will be my story on the application journey, and number 3 will be the tips that you can apply during your application. So let's begin. So number 1, the basic requirements. Actually, you can find those information easily on the website of the university, but what I want to mention here are those that you can prepare, but you have to prepare in advance, very advanced. Yeah. And by the way, as the administration systems of university are different in different countries, so I would just focus on the system that applied in Hong Kong, of course mostly CUHK. So number 1, the general requirements. It's your high school diploma. It's only student with international qualification like IB, SAT, or A-level can apply for the universities in Hong Kong. No! Don't be panic if you didn't want to an international high school. You can still be an international student in Hong Kong. Yeah, they actually accept any high school qualification as long as it meets their requirements is fine, absolutely fine. For CUHK, the requirements are 30 in IB, 1190 out of 1600 in SAT, and 75% for Myanmar matriculation exam, 80% for Indonesia national exam, and same for India national exam. You can find those information in the website, but for the one of CUHK, I will put it in the description box below so you can have a look. Actually, if your qualification is not in the list, you can still apply. They were considered in a case-by-case basis. For me, I didn't take any international exam. I just took Myanmar matriculation exam, and I'm still here. Yeah. Okay, now number 2 requirements. Language. Of course, Hong Kong education system media is mainly English, so you don't have to take a 1-year language course like Japan or mainland. You just have to provide your English proficiency proof like IELTS or TOEFL. For CUHK, and you need minimum 6 in IELTS or 80 in TOEFL, and they also accept this result. So for me, actually, I took IELTS, and I think that was the hardest part during my application, because I got a conditional offer from CUHK without an IELTS result. So if I didn't get 6 in IELTS, all the effort I spent in the application were ruined. Yeah, so I was kind of afraid about it, but fortunately I make it out. And number 3 would be personal statement and resume. I know that you have to provide those information, but I think it would be better if you can prepare in advance so that you can write a very good resume. What I want to mean is that you can decorate your resume, like you can try to do more volunteer work or accumulate more extracurricular experience. Yeah, though it's not a must, but I think it will definitely be a booster for your application. Yep. And number 4 will be recommendation letter. You are very lucky and brilliant if you have a teacher or a professor that you know him very well, and he or she also know you very well, and you can easily ask him or her for a recommendation. But I think for most of the people, or some of the people, it will be a little hard for them to find one to write a recommendation. So I think it's if you have a plan to go for overseas study, you better get to know more about your professor, not get to know at least someone, get to know them well, and maybe make them to know you well. Yeah, maybe you can write some question in class and talk to them more after class, so that it will not be that awkward while you need a recommendation letter. You can easily access from them. I think almost all professor or teacher are very willing to help. Yeah, as long as you ask them for help. As for me, while I was applying for CUHK, actually I was a year 2 student in MIT. Not MIT, MIIT. We add an I to MIT. Yeah, so I did what I said before, like I talked to them after class, and I get to know them quite well, so that it's quite easy for me to ask them for recommendation. Yeah, these are the things that you have to invest time to prepare. Now let's look at my application journey, my story. If you don't want to listen my story, you can straightly jump to the tips for application. Of course, I will be a little sad, but I hope it is inspiring. Anyway, okay. It was 2017 when I finished my high school. I was a lost and depressed high school graduate. I don't know what I want to do in the future, what I should take in university, what I'm interested in. So I really don't know what I want to do. I just don't want to do anything. Yeah. In Myanmar, we have our matriculation exam around early March, and the new semester of university already start at December. So we almost have a 1 year break between. At that time, I don't really know what I want to do, so I didn't do anything during the whole holiday, not until September, after I got back from a study camp in Taiwan. That was a long story, but in a nutshell, I joined that camp and got some inspiration, and I became interested in environmental study, and I decided that I want to study environmental engineering in university. So after I got back from that study camp, I started to reflect myself and plan for my future. Yeah. So my first thing says, by the way, Myanmar University application time is around September, so all the timeline meets over. Okay, so at that time I have to consider which university I want to apply, but I can't find that major I want to study in Myanmar, and also I feel like I want to try overseas study. I think it will be more interesting and challenging. So I decided to go to overseas study. So my biggest goal become this, and then, but at the time, I feel like I'm not yet prepared to go to overseas at that time, because I feel my English is bad. I don't have any skills. I felt I am underage. I just feel I'm not yet prepared for that. So I decided to take 1 year to do the preparation work. But during that 1 year, I don't want to gap and take some classes outside. I don't want to cost my parents, and I feel like it's a good opportunity to attend the 1 year university in Myanmar, that I can have some university experience, and also I hope I can of course I can learn something from the university, right? So I choose to study in MIT. Actually, MIT is a friendship project initiated by the cooperation of Myanmar government and India government. So we have India professor in our school. It's actually a domestic overseas study. My self-created word. Do you get what I mean? Domestic overseas study. Yeah, but MIT, the professor teaching super. Okay, and So my first step goals become get into MIIT. But actually for MIT we can't apply it only with a matriculation exam mark. We have to take an entrance exam. They just accept 120 students each year, and in my year there were about 2,000 candidates, so it's kind of competitive. But okay, and so my so my first step goal become get into MIT. So I first work for that goal, and then and I got into MIT in around September 2017. So after that, my second sub goal, prepare my English, improve my English. So I started IELTS preparation since 2018 January. But I started my preparation at the time, and during my preparation I also do some volunteer work and try to do as much as extracurricular activity as I can, and I try to search the scholarship opportunity in the major I want to study, and all those kind of opportunities. Just search on web. There are lots of opportunity waiting for you to search. And finally, actually I got, because I search mainly focused on the major, not the country. So I found one in Japan, and actually I did apply for that, and the application process I took about 3 months to just hand on the application. And I did take it. I had to take a test for that, and actually I passed the writing test, but I failed the interview. Then I got rejected. It's so sad. Yeah. And after, it was around May in 2018, and after I finished that test, I was really, really disappointed and despaired, and I did stop doing everything. I was self-doubt, can I really work it out to go overseas study? Oh, do I really have that ability? And how can I get the application to be successful? And when can I successfully apply for a university overseas? Just those many questions pops up, and I was really, really depressed and stopped doing everything. Yes, really everything. But it took me quite a long time, about 4 to 5 months. It's really long. But but how I got out of from that situation is I did some reading. That is really helped. Not just one book, but quite a few reading. It takes time, but it's really helpful. So after I get out of that situation, I start my journey again. I started to search the opportunity again, and start doing those the study preparation and those kind of things. And finally I came across CUHK, and apply for it, and finally I'm here. Yay! That's my journey. That's my story. It's inspiring. Finally, the tips for overseas study. Number 1, plan ahead. For planning, I think the first thing you should do is really identify the reason you want to go for overseas study. Your reason can be very simple, just be like, I want to study in a new place, but you have to be prepared to take the responsibility for your decision. What I recommend you to do is, when you start planning, you can Like, you can just write it down. You can make a comparison between the life that you can imagine if you go overseas study and the life that you think you will have if you don't go overseas study, and compare those two life, and also write down the challenge that you may face during the application, and after you got the application you want to overseas study, those the challenges that you will face, write them down and analyze them. Do you really want, what kind of life do you want? I think it would be really helpful for you to figure out what kind of life do you really want. And if you have analyzed what the reason you want to go overseas study, and after and you decide to go to overseas study, then you can start planning the preparation. You can write down all the steps that you think you should do for the application, and draw a timeline and execute them one by one. It will finally it will work out. Just break down your big goal into small ones and do it one by one. Yeah, that is my first advice. Plan ahead. And second, keep on searching. Actually, there are plenty of opportunity waiting for you to search. Yes, you should keep on searching during your preparation and find out the one that may suit you. And you should start searching very ahead, because the preparation times will last about half a year, even more. So if you plan to join the September 4, you should start searching since the beginnings of the year. Yeah, so that is one of the tips you may want to apply. And finally, and the most important tips, be mentally prepared. Yes, I did the planning and application all by myself, and during the process there were some things that really frustrating, and also it is possible that you will fail an application. I wish you don't, okay? And there are many problems that you will face even you successfully apply for university and finally get to the university. During the study there will be lots of challenges and lots of difficulties, but just stay strong, be ready for that. And if you find something that's really hard, just find someone to talk to, and or read some books, as I did before. I believe everything will be fine. Yeah, just don't lose your hope, be strong. That's all. Yeah, and finally I want to share a quote that drive me to keep on going, to keep on trying new things. It's better to look back on life and say, I can't believe I did that, than look back and say, I wish I did that. That's all for today. The video get a bit long, but I wish it will be useful for you. And if you have any problem during your preparation or application, you can share it in the comment below. And there may be people facing the same problem with you. When you're not the only one facing the problem can get much easier. Yeah, so maybe you can comment below and find some friends who is also facing the same problem with you. You can help each other. Yeah, that's all for today. Good luck for everything you're doing. See you in next video. Bye bye.